Thank you for joining. Good evening. This session, we are going to cover the scanning part within ThinkorSwim. In the last two sessions, we have covered the charts, candlesticks, and a couple of indicators, VWAP and moving averages and moving average crossovers. We also covered different types of moving averages and how they are different in terms of how they work. Simple moving average, exponential moving average, Hull moving average, and we also covered VWAP and who all uses VWAP. In this session, we are going to look at the scanner within ThinkorSwim and how you can run your own scanners and find out the stocks that meet the criteria that you have defined. And you can also set alerts to your email or phone. So I will go ahead and think you should be able to see my screen. So this is a ThinkorSwim main page. And then on the main page, you can actually see monitor, trade, analyze, scan, market watch, charts, tools, education and help. These are different tabs, right? For the charts, we have to click on this particular tab here. So in order for us to scan, we have to go to scan. And in the scan, this is what you will see. If you see anything else like this, for example, you can just close it for now. And then we will basically look at the empty scanner right now, right? So the ThinkorSwim tool platform basically gives us the ability to scan for stocks with certain criteria that we define, right? It could be anything. I will go through not each, but most of the conditions that we can set in the stock hacker. So one thing we have to understand is that under scan, again, there are multiple tabs. Each tab will have its own conditions and studies. So under stock hacker, all the conditions that you have will usually be related to the stocks itself. But if you go to options hacker, you will have fields like options like open interest and volume and theta and gamma and days to expiry. Those fields you will find under option hacker. Spread hacker is basically that if anyone is doing verticals like credit spreads or debit spreads, or if anyone are doing iron condors, butterflies, you will find you'll be able to scan those and you will find those conditions in under the spread hacker. Spread book is basically all the contracts that are trading, and then ThinkorSwim will basically be able to will basically grab, and then it will maintain a book, and that's called spread book. And you can basically sort it by quantity or symbol, or the expiry or the strike, whatever you want, you can sort it. I just sorted it by the quantity, so who is betting big using the spread book. It's basically like a level 2 where you will know who are the people that's placing trades and where are people placing big trades. So 250 contracts is something, it's a big amount, right? So you can see someone is making big bets on CAR. It looks like it's Avis. I think that's like a rental car division. So you can, that point you can understand that, okay, so there is something that's happening on CAR. You can go to charts and you can look at CAR chart and you can come to a conclusion on why someone is betting big, and you can also see how they're positioning and all of that details. I don't use ISE spread book. I honestly don't have any idea what this is, so we will not talk about that on this session. Mostly I will use stock hacker. I will not even use options hacker, honestly. That's just me, because the last 1 year I could only do swing trading because I have to be at office. I couldn't actively trade. Options hacker is something that you could also use. It will give the the contracts that are having highest open interest, or you can sort with highest volume. It will basically show you what is the contract, and you can take a decision whether you want to trade that or not. But before we go into the next ones, we will start with stock hacker, and we will see how to use the stock hacker. And if you open stock hacker under scan, there will be like, this is the scanner that I just ran. I think there is one default stock hacker for everyone when you first open an account. I don't know which one that is, but let's just say you have something, you close all the conditions, right? So this is the name of the scan that I have saved, for example. And then this is scan in, and you will have multiple options. Like you can scan in all symbols that include stocks, indices, futures, funds, everything. Or you can scan in only stocks, or you can scan in only indices or futures or funds. So I usually run all stocks. I exclude indices because the only thing that I follow is SPX. I have a watch list, but I don't scan or trade indices. So all I want is stocks. You can select all symbols. For this example, we will select all symbols. Intersect with. Intersect with means you want to scan all the symbols, but there are some stocks that do not have options, right? You want to scan in stocks, but you want to make sure the symbols that you are looking at have options, right? So what I usually do is I scan in all stocks. For this example, we are using all symbols, so we can see some indices if there are any. And then in category, what I do is I will select, in intersect, I will select all optionable, meaning I will scan in all symbols, but only the symbols with options will be coming up in this list when I run a scan, right? And then I don't trade OTC stocks at all. So this thing right here, it's called exclude, right? So when you click exclude, go to category, and then you can select all OTC stocks. So what it does is this scanner right here, whatever I build here, the filter conditions, which I have not built anything, it will scan all symbols which has options on those symbols, and it will exclude all OTC stocks, right? So this is the primary conditions the condition that I want. Once I have these conditions set there, I have to come down here and I have to click add a filter. Under add filter, we have multiple selections. Very basic is to go to stock, right? So under add filter, hit stock. We will get one of these following conditions. What is it saying is stock, ask, minimum, and maximum. So what we can do is we can go to stock mark. Some people use last. I use mark because mark means it will also scan after hours. And it is important to know that mark means the price, irrespective of if it is in after hours or pre-market, post-market, or within market hours, mark will scan everything. If you select last, it's only during the day. It doesn't scan for anything pre-market or post-market. So you can select mark. For example, you want to trade stocks that are only minimum $5, but you want to trade the stocks that is maximum 10. So your range is between 5 and 10, right? Just for fun, let's run the scan and let's see what will happen. So I think there are about 3,700 or 4,000 some number of symbols that are optionable. And we can do that, right? So if I just simply run, I'll get 6,316. Looks like that includes indices, futures, everything, right? So I click add filter, I click stock, scroll down, I go to mark, I'll give a minimum of 5 and then a maximum of $10. So out of 6,000, there are 576 stocks that are between $5 and $10, right? And then you come here, click add filter, and select stock one more time. That means you're giving multiple conditions. So this is smart. So you want to trade only between 5 and 10. It can be 1 and 5, or it could be just 50 cents and $1. It's up to you. Whatever condition you want to do, you can give the condition. And some people want to, trade based on the market cap. They don't want to trade small market cap like 500 million. They don't trade those. They want to trade something that is above like 10 billion or 50 billion, whatever, right? So the market cap right here is in millions. So if you give 5, it's going to show all the stocks that have a minimum market cap of 5 million. But so I think this is going to be 5 billion. So if we scan that, it's 5,000 million. Okay. So you can see that out of 6,000 some symbols, you have stocks that are 36 right here that are between 5 and 10 that have a 5,000 million market cap, right? So we get these numbers, right? But then the problem is these are useless, right? Like, I mean, XPEV, I don't know what it is doing. IQ, it's some China stock. YMM, I don't even know the name. PLTR. We have a list of stocks, but we want to catch stocks that are basically on the move, right? That are basically going up or making a big moves, right? So for that, so this is the criteria for stocks, right? You only want to trade between $5 to $10, but then I'll reduce this criteria a little, 500 million. So we have 270, and you want to see something that's on the move, right? So you can select one more here, and then you can basically select percent change, right? So percentage change is what is the stock that has moved a certain percent, and you can basically select like 5, right? And when it will show you all the stocks that have made at least 5% change in the between last one day, right? And you can add n number of conditions under, well, not n number of, but there are a few here. You can also go with volume. You don't want to go with percentage change. You only want to trade stocks that have 100,000 or 1 million, right? Volume. You can do that. So all these stocks, if you look at the minimum volume, this is at least 1 million volume, right? So you can add that condition, and you can add, there are all these conditions like ask size, beta, bid, close, EPS, high. So you can select all these. You can select number of shares. If you say like, okay, I only want to trade a stock that has, let's say, 200 million shares. So you can give shares. Sizzle index is basically the measure. It basically measures the stocks on the move. You can select that. Wall index, wall difference, volume, weighted back volume. I mean, you can select any of these, but you probably may have to understand what they are before you select. These are something I know, so I selected those. There are many things that I don't know within the stock, but I don't use those, so I did not spend time to learn and just ignore it because I never use it. So under fundamental, you can also, if you are a fundamental trader and you don't want to do day trading, you don't want to do swing trading, you just want to invest something, you can also select any of these. Like, if you want a stock that is having a free cash flow per share, and then you want to see per this current year, and then you want to say that free cash flow, let's just say it's $10. You wouldn't find anything. I mean, who would have? Hard to have. Okay, so these are some of the stocks out of 6,000 some change that have a free cash flow of $1 per share in the current year, right? And then these are like, okay, so fundamentally these are strong, for example, or you can say gross profit margin, and then you can give like 5%, for example, and then you have these names right here. And then you can also select by revenue, sales per share, all these fundamentals. If you want to select based on the fundamentals, you have this option on this scanner. I don't use fundamentals, honestly, I'll be honest here. And we will get to steady in a second, and we will get to option when we come to options. But then we will look at pattern, right? And we all talk about patterns. Most of you, I'm assuming, are very new, and that's why you are here to learn how to run a scanner. But then based on the patterns, the stock chart, people think, for example, if there is a triple top, it means it is going to go down. If it's a triple bottom, it's going to go up because it has touched the resistance 3 times. And then this time it's going to pick it up, right? Double top, it's going to go down, or double bottom, it's going to go up. Head and shoulders, it's head and shoulders, it's going to go down. Inverse head and shoulders, it's going to go up. Based on that, you have a channel up. That means if a stock is trading in a particular channel, if a stock has broke the channel, that's basically called channel up, right? And then you can run that, and then you can see if there is any stock with this criteria that has broken a channel up, right? And then you can run this, and most of the stocks right here are trading in a channel that have broke up, and we have 39 out of 77, right? If you go and look at the chart, for example, one of the examples here is CLNE, and then it's basically trading in this, whatever channel this is, right? And it broke up, right? So maybe they're referring to that because I'm looking at 1 year, 1 day right here. So these are the stocks that have channel that broke up. You want to look at head and shoulders, we can do that. And then you have WTI. We can look at that chart, and then it will show like a head and shoulder pattern here. I think it's basically referring to this one right here. So this is one shoulder, this is second shoulder, this is a neckline. So this, and then ideally it's supposed to go down. But again, if you are a guy who likes patterns, guy or girl who likes patterns, you can scan the stocks based on the patterns, and then you will get the results. I mean, there are a few patterns here. I don't use any of these patterns. Triple bottom, you can scan for that. You may not find any because the market is on the raise. Let's see if there is any triple. Yeah, no. We have to select the 1 year, 1 day time frame, so you can look at. So, if there is any flag, bull flag, bear flag, I think you can see these. And then you can see what is this RIG. RIG is on a flag, it looks like. So yeah, there is a flag here. So this is a bull flag. You can see right here that it's making a flag right here. As long as it trades in this particular zone, when it breaks 7.6, for example, you can say it has a breakout, and then you can trade. So flags are good. I mean, flags are used by many traders. Out of all the patterns, if there is anything that I personally trade or personally see, that's flag, either bull flag or bear flag. Yeah, even weekly it looks cool. So yeah, so you can scan based on that. This is like very basic, right? But then, for example, you come and say like, hey, I want to use a moving average crossover. I want to see what are the stocks that are between 5 and 10 that has a minimum 500 million market cap, that has a minimum of 1 million volume. But then I want to see which are the ones that are doing a moving average crossover, right? So for that, what you have to do is all the moving averages and all these are called studies, right? So if you go to studies, under studies, this is where you will have all the moving averages and exponential, simple moving averages, variable moving averages, all of that stuff. So this is called studies. So under scan, you have to go to add filter. You have to select study. And then next to the study, there are already some crossovers, and there are licensed studies, popular studies, and statistics and all of that. For example, you want to start with the crossover, right? There is a moving average crossover here, right? And then it is basically this 15 right here is like the fastest moving average, which I will change to 10. Simple is fine. Crosses above 20. So I want to see when a moving average, a simple moving average, 10 simple moving average cross 20 simple moving average, right? And I want to see it in on the daily chart, for example. If there is anything as such, then it will show. So HLX, NEX, right? If you go to HLX, and then if you put the study here, simple moving average, we will plot two moving averages. One is 10, is the fastest. The slowest is going to be 20. So there is a crossover here. You see here, right here, there is a crossover. Right here, it crossed. That's why it came. So if you want to look at the other chart, NEX, so there is a crossover here, the first candle, right here. That's why it showed. And that is a simple crossover, right? And we have like, I mean, I don't know, like all the studies, there are hundreds and hundreds of studies, right? And if for a newbie, it's very hard to see which study to use, right? So you can see popular studies. And you can see there are some of the popular indicators, CCI indicator, DMI, MECT, most of you would have heard, moving average scan, on balance volume, parabolic, RSI, VWAP, we covered it in last week, Williams percent R scan. I theoretically know some of these, but if there is anything that I use for some of my scanners, it's moving average. And then I use some statistical standard deviations in my scanners, and I'll show you a couple of my scanners. You can also select volatility, right? Historical volatility change, meaning if a stock has volatility increase at least, let's say 5% from the last 10 bars, meaning in the last 10 days, because here it is day. Remember, here you can set the time. If you want to scan anything on a daily time frame, you can select on daily. I will highly suggest running anything on daily time frame. But if you really want to scan minute by minute, you can select minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, all the way you can go up to year on year charts. I would go with daily because it gives a very clean sample. Anything under daily or 4-hour chart is too noisy, honestly. So basically what it says is volatility. We have to understand what is volatility, right? Volatility is when a stock is moving out of its range. For example, Apple will traditionally move, $3 up or $3 down in a day, for example. But if on a given day it made a move to $6 up or down, that means the volatility has increased, meaning the stock is making a bigger and a higher move than its original range, right? So you can check with that, like, is there are there any stocks that has volatility increase at least 5% from last 10 bars? FSLY, that used to be one of the FSLY of the good stocks. See, like it's going in a specific range in the last 10 bars. If you count the 10 bars, it's not making big moves, but right here it made a big move. Like this candle right here is it moved more than 5%, 10%, 12% move on this candle. Because the volatility has expanded, you see that right here, right? So in short, we have to basically understand what each study does, and it is very hard because there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of indicators on ThinkorSwim. But you can start with the popular scanners, and then you can go look at the chart. You can look at CCI scan with the length 14 is greater than 100, for example. That's default. And then we will see what's coming. And then you look at the chart, BORR. I don't know what it is, but let's look at it, right? See, it made a big move, which means the CCI scanner is something that's interesting to look at. If someone is just day trading based on the scanner, it made a good move. It went from 638 to 674 on a $6 stock. It's an amazing move, right? So it made a 9% move. So we have to go back to daily and see, this is a flag break. This right here. So this is a flag. It broke the flag. This right here is a perfect setup. It's a flag break, and the volume is good. I mean, it's really nice. So these are the stocks that you can find based on the scanner, right? There is HIMS. That's a medical stock. See, again a flag break, another flag break. See, it's going in a tight range right here, and then just broke. Matter of fact, I mean, one would have drawn here basically as a flag break. It is a flag break right here, but it did go to the 20-day, tested 20, then went higher. So you will find good stocks just based on the default scanners that you have right here. CCS scan is good. I don't know what is DMI. I know what is MACD, but I honestly don't use MACD. I use moving averages. I use VWAP scan sometimes. You can also go with statistical standard deviation channel. For example, the close is greater than 2 standard deviation of the 63 linear regression line. So I'll just use 20, for example, and scan. So you have BORR, which is also the same stock that we got in the CCI scanner. You got HLX. I think that's some stock that we saw sometime back I think in a pattern scan. So we have some stocks right here. So based on which indicator that you use, again, I want to reiterate, indicator is nothing, but it basically tells you what is happening in the chart with a theory, right? Like, for example, standard deviation is nothing but if you have a 20-day moving average, if the probability of the stock is probability of the stock to move up or down one standard deviation is about 68%. It will stay within that 68%. It will stay within that standard deviation 68% of the time. It will stay within that 2 standard deviation 95% of the time. For example, we are not talking standard deviations, but you need to understand what that indicator is about and what is breaking, so you can have the studies right here. In the ThinkSabio education group, one of our guys have posted a very good link, millionaire in the making, I think, or who is that? Let me see who posted it. Someone posted, nobody. He posted a link to a lot of scripts, which are basically used by a couple of very well-known traders, and then they have given up all the trading scanners that they use, right? You can open the link and you can import them, right? So this is how you can set up your own scanners. You can play around. I would encourage everyone to play around and, see what is the unusual volume scanner. Like volume is increased at least 20%. I want to scan for volume that has increased 40%. Then last, not 50, but I just want to see 20 period, right? So we see stocks that has a higher volume, like the volume has increased at least 40% the last 20 days, right? So the first one is FSR. FSR is an electronic EV car stock. And if you look, we have to plot volume. So basically, you can look the average. The volume is 40% higher than the average volume. You can see the average volume. This is for 50 days, but I think I set for 20. So let me set it for 20 here. So it is basically roughly 40% higher than the 20-day average, 20-day period on a daily chart, right? So that's why it was listed. You can see like the volume has increased and it is actually going to the downside. And then we have to basically, look at each and every stock like this. There is one easy way. So let's just say you have this built right here, right? You have the scanner built right here. But then instead of going back to charts and typing one name every time, you can come here, right here, these three bars, can click right this one, and you can save it as a watch list, or you can basically click right here, and then you can run, you can basically save the scan, right? You want to give a name. I'm giving it a name as ThinkSabio demo. Then you can save the scanner. Let's just say you're happy with this scanner, and then you can click here and save scanner. You will save the scanner. Here the name is ThinkSabio demo, right? And then what you can do is you can go to Market Watch and then quotes, and then you can go to Market Watch, and then you can go to quotes, and then right here you will get all the scanners. See right here, ThinkSabio demo. It's right here. So it will give me all the stocks that I have right here as a watch list. It will give me a watch list. What is the benefit of having a watch list, right? One is instead of running a scan, this watch list will refresh every 7 minutes, if I'm not wrong. That's what ThinkorSwim told me. Every 7 minutes, I think that's what they said. So every 7 minutes is when this will automatically scan. So you will get, everything instead of manually hitting the scan. The watch list will basically give you updated list every 7 minutes. That is one use of having it as a watch list. The second use is that, see this link here. So next to the name, you will see a red color, right? I mean, you have multiple colors, but let's just say you have a red color. If you go to your chart, next to the symbol, you will also see a red color right here. What that means is this watch list is linked back to the chart. Meaning, if you come to market watch list, if you hit on ABCL on your chart, you don't have to type ABCL, you will have ABCL. If you hit NTCO, you will have NTCO right here. Why? Because the color, the link between this watch list and this chart is same. But if you do it as yellow, if you hit on HIMS, you will not see that. Why? Because the color here is red, there it is yellow. But if you change it to yellow, it will go back to this color, MXCT, right? You will see MXCT chart. So that's how you can basically scan stocks and then convert that stock the scanner into a watch list, and then you can easily just with a click, you can look at all the charts for those symbols that you got in the scanner. So that is, in a nutshell, um, how to create a basic scanner, right? And then you can remove, and then you say, okay, so I don't want that particular field, whatever I've removed. You don't care about the market cap anymore. You thought that you don't care market cap. So you can scan again, and then you can come here. You can save it on the same name. It will rewrite it. It will rewrite the scanner with the new condition. Let's just say you want to create one more condition. For example, you want to create one more study. You want unusual volume, and you also want, volatility increased, right? So this is your new criteria. You want to now give it a different name, for example. You can give a different name. It will save as a new scanner. And then you can come to Market Watch, and then you will find right here, ThinkSabio Demo 1. The new one is ThinkSabio Demo, and ThinkSabio Demo 1 are the new ones. So what if you want to see both ThinkSabio Demo and ThinkSabio Demo 1? How are you going to do that? So you go to here, and then on the Market Watch in quotes, you will select the scanner that you want. And then right here, you can hit detach. That will give you a new window. So on this sheet, on this page, you can have ThinkSabio Demo 1 demo, and this you can have ThinkSabio Demo 1. So now you have two scanners. If you want to scan for bullish and bearish in two different scanners, you can do that. Here you can have bullish, here you can have bearish, right? So that's how we create a scanner, and we create a watch list, and we basically, you can link the watch list to your chart, and you can also detach the window. Now, let's just say I want to create an alert every time, every time you have new symbol added to the scanner. You can basically go to this and click on alert when scan results change, and then it will basically give this pop-up. I will show it again. So come here, click here, alert when scan results change. Click that, and then I'm not going to click this, but you have to check, email or SMS or sound, whatever notification mechanism you want. I'm not going to click here because it's going to reveal some of my information, but you basically can create this alert, and you can basically say whatever the name is for this, right? And then you can click create. And then what happens is every 7 minutes, this scanner will run, and every 7 minutes, you will, if there are any new symbols that were added, you will get an email, or you can get a message, or you will get a message right here on the top here with there will be some sound you will get. And then you can also get on the ThinkorSwim platform itself, right? So what did we cover? We covered how to run a scanner, how to convert a scanner, how to save a scanner, how to open the scanner in the scanned results in a watch list, and then how to create alerts on the watch list. So you will get, you will basically get all the alerts on your email, because you don't have time to look at the screen all the time. We are all working. So if you set up an alert, it will come to your email, and you can look at the email and say like, oh, okay, so FSR is breaking, or BORR is making a move, right? So you can do that. Now, I don't think I have time to cover options hacker and spread hackers today, but we will look at some of the scanners that I have. So if you save a scanner, and if you want to edit the scanner, you have to go to load scan query, and then you have to basically see, here is ThinkSabio demo, right? So if you click that, you will get your scanner again. So for example, if you have closed it accidentally or whatever. You can come here, load scan query, and then you have to go to the name here, and then you can select this, and you can run the scan. If you want to do any edits, like you want to cancel the volume, you want to do something, right? You can load your scan query. Now, I accidentally I closed it, but I want to add it back, but I don't know what conditions that I gave. So you come back, go to here. See, now I got this back. So as long as you save the scan query, you can basically load it again from here. And you can also share a scan query to your friends or in the group. For example, you have created a scanner that is working awesome, right? You can share the scan query here. And then you can basically, you will get a link once you click the share, and you can share the link in the group. And then there is an option here where under setup, open shared item, you have to paste the link here, and then you can import that scanner right here. So this is how you basically use a stock scanner, right? I want to show, and also you can detach this window. So you don't want to use, you want multiple windows. You want to use this scanner in a different window. You can also detach from here. That's what I do. I don't use this main screen at all. I have, as you can see, I have multiple here. Anything that has a quote is a scanner, and then anything that has a symbol is a chat. Okay, so there is so the scanners that I use are something that I have created myself based on my experience and by following some of the people that I know are successful traders. So I'll basically show one of the scanner that I have already shared, and then I have not explained the custom here because assuming you're all newbies, and I don't want to scare you too much. But if you have a custom scanner that you have written, you can also, under studies, you have to add filter, click study. Under studies, there is a thing called custom where you can actually write your script. ThinkScript is a language, and then you will have to write your own code in here, and then you can run a scanner. So what I have right here, these are custom scanners. I have shared it in ThinkSabio education group multiple times. I think about like 5-6 times. But what I did was basically, this is a script that will scan for stocks that have a day range of at least 1%, or I can make it 5%, whatever. That means the stock has a capability of moving up or down 1% at a minimum. And then this is a dollar volume. So I want to scan for stocks that move or that have a dollar volume traded at least 200 million. I don't want to scan the stocks that have no dollar or there is no money pouring into it. I don't want to trade those. I want to find quality stocks, and this script will basically help me in scanning for stocks that have a minimum of 200 million dollars traded on that given day and the day before. So you see, DOLL is a definition I have created. When I give the one here, that means it will scan for stocks that have traded for 200 million or more today and yesterday. Okay, so that's another criteria. And the third criteria that I use is basically Bollinger Bands. Basically, stocks that are making moves more than 2.3 standard deviation. And then that there is a reason behind it. This in itself will take me like 30 minutes to explain. So we will keep it for another day. I will cover Bollinger Bands in one of our next sessions. But the point is that I want to scan for stocks that are quality, that have quality and that are making big moves, right? For example, if I run this scanner, I will get multiple stocks right here. So these are the stocks that have a 200 million minimum dollar volume traded, and then they're actually making a move above the 2.3 standard deviation. And I'll tell you why I do that. For example, we will look at this chart. Let me remove this one, the probability. One more probability. Okay. I'll simply show you one example and then we can move. So Tesla, right? There are many ways to find the stock when it is moving. For example, if it was me only with this scanner, I would have known about Tesla making a big move on 23rd of January. From 23rd of January, it moved from 141 to almost $214, right? How would I know? Because look, the stock made a move above the 2.3 standard deviation. What does that mean? That means the stock is making a move outside its usual range. How do I know? If I go back to 180 days, you can see this green color, that means it is actually going out of its range, right? So if you see in the last 180 days, it made that move once to the downside. It fell from 199 to 100. You all know that. So we can also catch that. This is to the downside. But then if you go back and historically see, every time Tesla makes a move outside of that, see, it moved from 263, almost went to 312. Not every time, but sometimes it will fail. But usually, see here it failed. It made a move outside, but then it took many days to actually make the big move. If someone is buying, 2 days expiry or a weekly expiry, they would burn their hands. But look, in last 180 days, it only made that move 3 times. 1, 2, to the upside. 3. That means the stock is trying to break up, and it's trying to go above its range. So that's how I can know that, okay, so Tesla is making a move. I will get an alert to my email. I will open the email once every day and I'll see what are the stocks that are making moves. And all the stocks, I will not get all the stocks because we have thousands of stocks. Tesla is definitely a stock that will trade more than 200 million. See, that's my next condition, the second condition, right? Only stocks like Tesla can trade over 200 million. So I have a 200 million condition, and I have a Bollinger Band condition where stock goes above 2.3 standard deviation. It will, let me know. There is one stock here, for example, XOM. XOM is making a move, it looks like. So we can look at XOM, but it should be fresh. I don't want a stock that already made a move. See, it is making a move. There's a chance that it could actually go higher. I wouldn't know that. But see, it's already made a move. It's actually in a flag, and then it's probably trying to break a flag. If you look at yearly chart, it's probably trying to break a flag here. So you can find that stock. So based on what I know about a stock, I'll not look at everything, but I know some stocks have a potential move. Lyft, we all know what happened to Lyft, for example. I mean, it's LYFT. So you don't watch news, we don't see anything, for example, but you can still run the scanner, and it broke the 2.3 standard deviation after the market. And then, it went from 11 to 10, which is about 10%. So you can still make money. So I run this scanner, and I run a couple of other variations of this scanner. And then there are many scanners that were shared in the group. Mainly they come with the name stock B, 4% bullish, 4% bearish. I mean, you just have to load them and run it, and you will get. The problem with these guys is they give me too many results. That's why I don't like it. But you can start somewhere, right? I mean, you can load these scanners. Like I said, 49 million, 30. You still have 50 results. What this guy do, stock B, he basically goes through all these charts and he will look at the charts and the patterns and he'll make money. Stock B is a guy on Twitter. He's very good. He's Indian by birth, but I think he settled somewhere in Canada or somewhere. But there are some indicators right here that are very good. I would encourage you guys to explore all of this. The URL for that is in the chat, not in this chat, but it is in the ThinkSabio education chat. Let me see if I can find it again. I'll post it in this chat to everyone in the meeting. Go through that link. That link has a lot of studies and scanners. And then once you open that, all you have to do is copy the link of the scanner and you have to go to setup, open shared items, give the link here, click preview and click import. And then you will get the scanner under the load scanners. Okay. And then there are some default public scanners that ThinkorSwim will give. You can use that. Percentage gainers, you can run that. Or you have some under load scanners, you'll have the public scanners that are default given by ThinkorSwim. See, there is top 10% gain in NASDAQ, NYSE, NASDAQ, NYSE, top 10 losers, top 10 gainers, top 10 active. They also have a scanner that will show an hourly report social activity. I mean, how cool it is. But because it's a weekend, you wouldn't get any, but usually we'll get like 5 or 10. But long story short, this is how the stock hacker is. I will probably take one more session to cover options hacker and the spread book. Spread book is pretty cool. If anyone does vertical or anything here, options hacker is pretty cool. You can run the same conditions, but you should know what is days to expiry. You should know volume. You should understand open interest. You should have you should understand the net change, and you should also understand what is extrinsic gamma, implied volatility, intrinsic value. Extrinsic value, intrinsic value is the basic. So I'm assuming you all know that. But if you don't know, please, I'll try to probably cover it, but you need to understand all these things here. What is vega, what is gamma, what is theta, and all of that. But once you understand that, you can use options hacker, but I think we will have to take another day to cover options hacker. But yeah, that in a nutshell is a stock hacker. I will pause there for any questions. You can type it in the chat or you can raise your hand. I think Danu is around. He can unmute you guys. Any questions, anyone? Okay, if no questions, then let's see. Yeah, I think we covered everything under stock hacker. I actually thought we will cover this, and the spread hacker and spread book, but looks like we couldn't cover all of them in one session. So stock hacker it is, and I see someone typing, Nayan Dama. Oh, KGF. Okay. So I think yeah, a year and a half or so back, I created a watch list column that will basically tell you whether to, if you have Apple, it will basically tell you whether to buy calls or puts based on a moving average crossover on the stock as well as S&P 500. I think I created two versions, KGF and KGF Lite. That is watch list columns. I have to take a separate session on that. But then basically, if you click here and click customize, this is something that I wrote long back, a year or so back. I think this is KGF Lite because I've disabled the S&P 500. But basically what it does is it will look at the EMA moving average crossover, 21, 34, 50, and then the time frame is 10 minutes. And based on the crossover, it will basically tell me if a stock is in an uptrend or in a downtrend. If a stock is in an uptrend, then it will tell me to buy calls like this. If a stock is in downtrend, it will tell me to buy puts. If a stock is trading in a zone, neither breaking up or breaking down, it will basically tell me listen to songs. I think there is one more criteria here. I think I also calculate the breakout, the opening range breakout. Yeah, I do that. So I also look for a 5-minute open range breakout. So it has to satisfy open range breakout. It should satisfy the moving average crossover. There is a different version where it should also satisfy S&P 500. 100 EMA should trade over 200 EMA. So only if it satisfies all three conditions, then I will get the result. Believe it or not, this works great. The script is in the chat in the ThinkSabio education. If not, I can share it again sometime. This works great. I like this one. I wish I could do a day trading, but I couldn't. So this is good for day traders. Let me see. There is next question. CP is a stock that has a move of $2 to $3 a day. How do I play that? How do I set scanner for that? Okay, so the scanner that I have is not based on the dollar. This is based on the percentage. It's not a dollar. So for example, 1% for $100 stock is $1, but 1% on a $10 stock is 0.1 or something, right? 10 cents something. So this is percentage. It is not a dollar. But then there is a code I can send you. I think Nayan Dama. I think if you are in the ThinkSabio education group, just ping me. I will give you a script where you can scan for stocks that are making a move for $2 or above. But again, right, there are many hundreds and thousands of stocks that will move more than $2 or $3 a day. You'll get a big list. So I would advise, along with that, to I can write a small script for you and I can pass it to you. You can use it. Instead of using only that, I would advise you use some other combination along with that. Just going with $2 and $3 move a day is probably not a good idea, but I can help you with that. Would I? Can you show again how to scan automatically every 7 minutes? We don't scan automatically every 7 minutes, but if you have a scanner, for example, where is this ThinkSabio demo? So this is the scanner we have created. This is a question from Hanish. So you can basically open this scanner, right? You will run a scan, and then you have to go to Market Watch, and under quotes, you have to select the scanner that you have created. ThinkSabio demo 1, for example, right? If you select this, it will auto scan and it will change the results in this watch list. You don't have to hit scan every time. If you just create a watch list, it will scan for you. I think it is 7 minutes. I will Google it again and see, or I'll talk to ThinkorSwim again. I think they told me it is 7 minutes. Every 7 minutes, it will run the scan and it will let you know. So you have to save the scanner. You have to go to Market Watch, and you have to select your saved scanner, whatever it is. So you'll get it as a watch list. And then you can change these watch list columns, but that's for another day. Once you find a stock from scanner, what basic indicators you look at chart for taking position? That is from Bhaskara. Hey Bhaskara, so I'm only doing swing trading because, like I said, I have to go to office and I couldn't trade here. But in short, I'll show you what I'll do. For example, if I find some stock that is breaking out, I will wait for the stock to come all the way down to 20-day moving average. And then I will wait for it to show me some kind of reversal, and then I will try to trade it. And then there is one more way that I trade is that this is 4-hour 34 exponential moving average crossing 50. So when there is a crossover to the upside or downside, I want the crossover to happen, and then I want it come all the way to 20-day moving average. This is 20 daily simple moving average, the white line right here. And then I want to see some price action go upside, right? And then it's pretty much similar to stocks like Tesla, whatever. However, it changes slightly for kind of stocks for Tesla, except that instead of using 20, I will use a 10-day moving average, which is essentially same as this blue cloud here. So if it comes close to the 10-day moving average and it shows some sign of reversal, I will take a swing position. Unfortunately, I did not take a position on Tesla, but that's for a very different reason. But yeah, those are the two things that I do. One is a change in trend. I will identify the change in trend with moving averages. And one is the breakout of 2 standard deviation. I would wait for it to come touch the 10 moving average or 20 moving average, and then it should pick up. So great, thanks. I'll DM you. Okay. Those are the questions I have. We are at top of the hour, 5:05, and we will conclude the session. Thank you everyone for joining. If you can share your feedback on the ThinkSabio group on how you liked it. If there is, and if you have any other topics you want me to cover, you can post it there, and I will share the details of the next session very soon. Thank you all. Have a great day.